Everybody, welcome back to another Today, I don't know why, it's usually, whenever I'm out on a walk, I always get philosophical workings up in my brain, and it got me thinking. I don't know why, I was just walking along, and all of a sudden this thing occurred to me. This idea that I was looking at clovers on the floor, on the ground here, on the sidewalk, and I'm like, couldn't you say that because there are clovers here, and the only other place I know the clovers are, you know, Ireland, Scotland, wherever the fuck, that these two chunks of land were once connected? They, of course, speak of Pangea. And it got me thinking about some other stuff. About how humans don't really know a lot about our origin, I guess, where everybody came from. Like, we have a general idea, but the world at large, I don't think, really knows much of that stuff. Just like we don't know how the fuck the pyramids were built. We have a decent idea, but me personally, I'd like to think I'm a rather logical person. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in heaven, hell, boogeymen, skinwalkers, all that crap. Well, skinwalkers maybe, but I don't think they're supernatural entities. I think they're nut jobs who dress up in animal carcasses and take PCP and attack people in the desert. But that's as close as we'll get to that. Now, the thing that I think is, I bet there are people out there, I would not doubt it, that know the origins of humanity, but just aren't telling anybody. I would put money on that. That there's someone out there, or a group of people who figured it out, but are keeping it a secret from everybody else. Like, I gotta be honest, I really like whenever I'm watching one of these videos, or like one of these movies, and they essentially, sorry, I gotta fucking fix my pants here. When I'm watching one of these movies, and they basically make demons out to be aliens, or aliens are demons, demons are aliens, they're the same thing, it's just how we perceive them. They're a scientific threat, but then we perceive them in a supernatural light, because their power and their science and their technology are so beyond us that it seems like magic and spooky shit. And I love that. The first time I ever saw that was in The Fourth Kind, which was a fucking horrifying movie. I remember watching that. It was one of the only horror movies that actually scared me. But I remember looking at that and I'm like, wow. Even though these things are aliens, in every sense of the word, they behave like demons. And I'm like, that's really interesting. And now I'm not going to be one of these fucking people who comes on and is like, yes, it's all an allegory, iconography, because Hollywood's trying to tell you that the demons are aliens and all this shit. Because I don't believe that one bit. Well, okay, maybe to like some extent I believe that, but not entirely. See, because my whole stance on it, see, this is the other thing, is like, oh, the Illuminati and all this jazz about Beyonce and Jay-Z and all them being in these secret organizations and stuff. See, the thing is, I don't think that's 100% weird to assume. I mean, for fuck's sakes, weren't they all on Epstein's flight list? But I definitely, it's weird because I rest in that pool of people who thinks that it's ridiculous when people say, oh yeah, they gather around once a year to sacrifice infants and, drink their blood to extend their life force or whatever the fuck. I think this shit is weird. In the same vein, I don't believe that, it's not that I don't believe that it's not true. It's, if it turned out to be true, I would not be surprised at all. Nothing, that's the thing, is like I've noticed lately, nothing fucking surprises me anymore. especially with the human race. Nothing is out of the ordinary these days. Like, I've seen some fucking wacky shit. None of it's supernatural. Most of it, or all of it, explainable. I wouldn't be surprised if rich psychotic assholes somehow, you know, form blood cults and all this creepy shit. I'm not saying it definitely happens, but for fuck's sakes, I mean, there's child sex rings, and that's a fact. Everyone knows that. They're around, and every time somebody tries to bring, you know, expose light on it, or, you know, expose it, either something happens to them, or something or other, fucking some bullshit occurs. So, once again, I don't believe in the, you know, like, I don't think, oh, what's his name? A funny video about this. Knee Canyon. Where he made a video where the Queen of England's dying, she has to drink from the fucking chalice to reincarnate her soul into this new host. And I'm like, I don't think it goes that far. But do I think they're trying? Absolutely. I think, it just, none of it would surprise me. And there's no way you can know. I mean, partly one of the things that inspired me to make this video was that before I was watching some kind of bullshit on, Bohemian Grove. Now, that shit is fucking creepy. But, at the same time, like, it's probably just a group of elites getting together to get naked and do a circle jerk. I don't know what the fuck they're into. But it seems to be that, and I truly believe this, when you have all the money in the world, you become fucking numb to everything. Especially if you're an extremely underqualified person in a position of extreme power. You're going to lose your fucking marbles. So, I do believe that that happens a lot. And, I don't know. I definitely think that there's a surplus of people out there with an absurd amount of money and too much time on their hands who just lose their fucking minds. Funnily enough, I was watching, what is it? I recently been listening to, I like horror stuff, as you would know. Maybe I talked about it more in the past. And lately I've been watching Horror Babble. I love Horror Babble. And they were doing this new series. It's called Dr. Satan. No relation to the Rob Zombie character. In my opinion, this Dr. Satan is way more interesting. He was created by, I believe, an Irish author by the name of Paul Ernst. And Dr. Satan's basically this rich dude in New York, or I guess he's in New York, who became so rich, did everything he wanted to do, lost his fucking mind, and he's like, you know what? Being rich and drinking wine, eating caviar, and doing coke off of hookers' chests wasn't good enough for him anymore. So he decided to become this occult science criminal who kills people in very odd ways by harnessing, you know, occult magics and shit like that. And basically this part-time criminologist by the name of Ascot Keane, who's almost as smart, if not smarter than Dr. Satan, clashes with him constantly. There's only like 8-9 short stories or so, but I really like them. They're really good. And it just got me thinking. I'm like, a rich dude who turns to occult bullshit to satisfy his longing to be a part of something bigger. Because even with all the money in the world, he's still, you know, dissatisfied. And I'm like, I wonder how many people like that are actually around that, you know, are cutting open fucking people and drinking their blood, not because it does anything, not because demons and ghosties are real, but because they just got fucking bored. And, you know, all of a sudden they start these secret societies and, you know, ooh, doing illegal shit is fun. Because we all want a taste of the forbidden. So they do it and they have the money to cover it up. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Would not. I don't believe that if you actually apply fucking infant blood to your skin, it makes you live forever, but I believe there are fucking nutcases out there that believe that, and will do it. And by God, if they have the money to escape justice, they will use it. We already know you cannot throw rich people in jail. It is goddamn impossible. And anytime they do, it's either a fluke or they were cut free from their circle. Clinton should have been in jail years ago. Both of them. Fuckheads. It's never gonna happen. But I digress. Yeah, but it just got me thinking about the whole, conspiracy, this Bohemian Grove, that, and all the weird and odd fucking iconography in that one, that airport, whatever it's called, I can't remember the name of it. It's one with the gargoyle and the briefcase, and then that picture of the apocalypse or some bullshit with people in coffins and creepy, that weird mural. Wouldn't it be weird if that ends up being like nothing? It's just like our weird artistic license. Already had that blue horse with the red glowing eyes. Remember that one? Weird shit. I can't tell if it's like, what's his name? Jesse Ventura, who had that whole show. Then he lost his fucking mind. He fled the country because of tax issues. Now, these are either two things you draw from that. Either one, him, as well as other conspiracy theorists, are actually fucking nutcases. And they try to turn attention away from themselves by exposing what they think is the elite doing, weird shit. Or, he was right all along. And the powers that be forcibly try to make it seem like he's a fucking nut job so everyone will discredit him. And it's weird because at that point you really can't discern. You're so pulled in one direction or the other that you can't really make out what's truth or lies. I mean, nowadays, fuck, if you could have a picture, someone could literally edit a video to make it look like, I don't know why I keep going back to Beyonce, but Beyonce's pulling off her skin and ends up being a lizard person. You can make a video like that. You can make it look realistic. And nowadays, information's like, what the fuck, man? What's real? What's not? You'll never know. Not unless you witness it in person. And that's the problem. Especially with ghosts. I noticed that was like the one big thing. For a very short while, I was like, ooh, I'd like to become a paranormal investigator. But obviously not to find ghosts. To mainly be to disprove all the bullshit. It's like, well, the reason you're seeing, shadows at the corner of your eye is because you got a whole fucking cabinet over here full of chemicals that you're wafting every day because your fucking AC vent is right behind it. So breathing that shit in every day, it's gonna fuck with your mind. But that would have been the only reason I would have wanted to investigate the paranormal, would be to disprove it. Which, honestly, in today's day and age, I honestly can't believe some of the shit people still fucking believe. But, having said that, it's all of the, tall men with hanging jaws that can mimic people's voices in the woods that I don't believe. It's all the ghosts in your closet doing weird shit that I don't believe. I totally believe in people doing weird, gnarly shit behind closed doors. I totally believe that it is possible for people in positions of power to abuse that power and do weird shit. I mean, for fuck's sakes. We have stories and whatnot of rich Wall Street people. I wouldn't say rich Wall Street people. Wall Street people. Essentially doing blow with hookers. And the hookers die. And it either gets covered up or they get in trouble for it. And if they get in trouble for it, chances are they didn't have enough money to cover it up. So I absolutely believe that so much shit happens behind closed doors, like an insurmountable amount of shit happens behind closed doors, and it gets covered up, and everyone gets away with it, and no justice is served because of money. And it's like, it's not even, I think, that's something that's like disputed at this point. If you have money, you could fucking get away with anything. I'm looking at you, OJ. I think what pisses me off about OJ is that he fucking jokes about it like a little too much. That's disturbing. But yeah. That's why, like, oftentimes the pessimist in me, the cynic in me, honestly can't wait till the fucking asteroid comes and blows all this to shit. Because I am just so tired of the indecency. Not enough to do anything about it, of course. I don't really give a shit about rising up to change the world. Nah. There's a very good quote in Metal Gear, and I may paraphrase it here. Apologies for all the cars we're on the main road. But this quote was, "Don't try to change the world. Do your best to leave it in the same state it was when you found it." And I guess that quote has something to do with, like, progression is bad or something like that. And in a lot of ways, I could see how that could be true. At the same way, shit can't stay the same forever. So, like in my desire to create art and be recognized and be revered for my thoughts and ideas and all that artsy-fartsy bullshit, when it comes to what I believe as a person, it's always fluctuating. Every new little bit of information. Every day I have a new take on the world. One day I love it and I think there's hope, or days like today where I think it's all fucked and it should be over already. But that's about it. And that's mainly what I think about all that jazz whenever I go on these walks. Sometimes I'll listen to stories from other people. Sometimes I'll just enjoy the silence and the constant passing of cars. But yeah, as a race, I have no fucking idea where we're going. All I hope is that one day, in all aspects, the truth is revealed about our origins, about the secret societies of the world, if they exist. Most likely. And yeah, because just like God in that movie about trying to kill the next coming of Christ, you know, the one with the fucking old lady in the diner that crawls on the roof and they try to shoot her with the shotgun. Just like that, the God in that film, I'm just tired of all the bullshit. And I bet you are too. But, yeah. I think that's going to do it for this one. Thank you a lot for joining me. And I'll see you some other time.